What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brent, and today I am in a super dope studio where they have a bunch of different sets. Me and Jade here are going to do 3 different looks, and one look is going to be on one set, and then we'll do 2 looks on the second set. As I told you all, I want to start incorporating more texture into my work, so this is a step in that direction. Huge shout out to Jade for being on the channel yet again. We're excited to get into this content, so let's hop right in.
So this is going to be a voiceover video because this studio space specifically, they have multiple people shooting at the exact same time and there's just music blaring and everything like that. But the first thing that I want to point out is I am shooting this with 2 strobes. You're going to see off to my model's left hand side, it's a Godox AD600Pro, and I have the AC power adapter because I don't like to just use the batteries whenever I'm on location. So I have that one off in like a Rembrandt position, and all I have on there is a reflector, no grid or anything like that. And I kind of have it feathered so that it's not hitting the background too crazy, but it is actually hitting the background. The other light that you cannot see in this frame is off to her right side, and if you can see, there's like a little curtain off to my left, and there's like a little window there because this is like a set that they built. So I have that other light, and it's the Godox, it's the DP600-3V. I have that one shooting through that curtain, right? So it's a little bit softened, but it is using just a reflector, and I have it shooting through that curtain because I did notice that the right side of her face was just a little bit too harsh for the look that I was going for. I didn't necessarily use a ratio here. I just kind of, dialed it into taste and put the lights exactly kind of where I wanted them. It's sort of a cross, sort of a key plus fill. It's not necessarily 100% accurate for either, but those are the 2 lights that I decided to set up because in this year I did say that I wanted to get on location more and do more things on actual sets. So this is the first step in me doing that. I am shooting at f8 so that way I can cut out all of that ambient light. I just let the natural light shine through so we can see the video here for you all. Now, this particular look, we wanted to go for like a what would I call it? I would say like a sexy office worker, right? We got the tights, we have the handcuff things going on, we got the blouse. So it's really like a sexy, just got off of work secretary type of vibe. And this is a very vintagey type of studio. Now, when we switched to this second look, I took away the second light. I went to straight bare bulb on my flash. So I went bare bulb right in front of Jade because I really wanted that harsh shadow onto the background. And I figured, why not just change up the lighting setup a little bit because we are gonna do 2 different looks. And I figured, since I'm not gonna be shooting too close to that window anymore, we don't necessarily need for that light to be coming through, and it would have caused too much light. And I wanted this one to have just a slightly different look from the lighting setup that I had in the first portion. What we're working on here is very sharp, sexy posing. I didn't want anything to be too soft, too sultry because we will get into that in the second look. This was just trying to be very sharp. I'm sticking with my hard light this year. I don't think I've done a shoot yet, at least creatively, that has been done with soft light. I am very much loving what hard light is giving me. So I'm trying to lean into it and see like, what are all of the different things that I can do? What concepts have I done with soft light before that I can now transition into hard light concepts just to get that really nice pop. We had some oil draped on her. As you can see right now, we took off the blouse and kind of just had it as like a background, just in the scene type of deal. And we were trying to get very, unique with the posing, trying to play around with the angles and everything like that. But we put all this together, shot for a little bit, and these are the results we got from look 1. Now we're on to look 2, and the cool thing about look 2 is Jade does not do a lot of soft, sensual looks, so this was something that was actually out of her comfort zone. You would think that the sexy would be out of someone's comfort zone, but for her it's the soft, sultry. So we used pretty much only natural light here. I believe when we first started, we didn't use any sort of constant or flash. We really wanted it to have that nice soft look. I kind of stopped down my aperture, I was at like 2.8, 3.2, those type of vibes. Really just trying to feel out the space, just move around her, side note, this rolly chair was amazing. If any studios can put them rolly stools in there, man, I was like a kid in a candy store rolling all around my subject. But back to the topic, we were shooting natural light here. And what I was doing is just trying to move around her and find like different pockets of light, but also pockets of shadow. So at this point, the light is off her right shoulder. So she's sort of backlit, but as you can see to my right, and then also right in front of me and behind her, it's also white walls there. So that's going to give us a little bit of a bounce. They do have blackout curtains. However, for this one, I opened the curtains all the way. It wasn't the sunniest of days, so any of the light that was coming in was very much welcomed, and it kind of helped to, give us a little bit more fill where we needed it. And all we were doing was just trying to pose her in ways that A, would give us that nice, soft, sultry look that we were going for, but B, it would also allow us to play around with where the light was falling on her face, on her body. The outfit is very, very simple, right? Very light wash blue jeans, and then she has on a black bralette. And we decided to put her hair up for this one just to kind of give us a little bit of a different vibe from the vibe that we had in the first outfit. But we kept it very simple for the reasoning of we wanted expression in the face. So just trying to, kind of work on her giving me that soft, sensual mood. And then also me getting the practice of kind of playing around with natural light. Since I did recently start like a boudoir page on Instagram, I've been kind of playing around with like these more, not so commercially looking photo shoots, because one thing about me is I love shooting almost anything that involves people. I love the human-to-human connection. And sometimes when you're able to not tether, shoot natural light, and just kind of be in the moment, in the space, just in there with your subject, you can kind of get some really cool looks. And it makes it a little bit easier sometimes to take someone out of their comfort zone when you can just kind of go with the flow. So that's what we were doing here. Jade, she likes her striking, stunning, hard poses. So we definitely incorporate a little bit of that into these soft, sultry looks, but at the same time, just trying to remember that soft, feminine energy, which is what we were trying to exude while using, like I said, that natural light. It has a pretty soft fall off, in my opinion. Like I said, it wasn't the sunniest of days, so it wasn't giving us like very harsh light on her face, hence why I didn't really need to use the blackout too much. And if you notice, I have her a little bit away from the window. These are floor to ceiling windows, so they're very huge windows, so I am getting a lot of light, but I kind of pushed her a little bit back away just to get into like it's like a half pocket of shadow, half light type of deal. And then I kind of adjusted my settings accordingly so that I was exposing for her skin tones. The last thing that we really wanted to make sure that we focused on with this set was just kind of moving levels, right? Changing levels. So we had a few shots where I had her standing on the cube. I had some shots where she was sitting on the cube, had some shots where she was on the ground. We were on that little weaved basket thingy. Right now we're back to being by the wall, standing up, just trying to play around with different angles. And then me, look at me. So I'm moving around her to change up the story of these images. A big thing that I've been focusing on this year is trying to create 10 banger images as opposed to coming home, having 1,000 images and they're all super similar, right? I know that I'm a person that loves to focus on faces. I know that I'm not the best at getting, detail shots all the time, but I have been trying to work on creating a little bit more of a little storyline in my photography, letting us be a little more in the moment, a little more playful and not so rigid. You put all that together, we brought in this natural light, really been leaning into it. These are the results from look number 2.
All right, everyone, that's gonna do it for another video. 2 different sets, 3 different looks, and we used 3 different lighting setups. We had a hard light setup, we had a natural light setup, and then we also used a little bit of artificial light so we can get a little warm look. I wanna give a huge shout out to Jade for coming through. Jade, where can the people find you?
Hey, what's up, guys? You can find me on Instagram for right now at the Jade Wade.
Perfect. I'm gonna put it down here so you all can spell it correctly. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. It doesn't matter that he's leaf blowing. We're still gonna get this content pumped out, and we will catch you all in the next video.